The Cowboys lost to the New York Giants 20-19 in their season opener, and although a lot of blame can be placed on Terrence Williams for his boneheaded decision not to get out of bounds on the final play of the game, that's not the only thing that went wrong. Now, before we get started with the analysis, let's first say this. It's one game. It does not mean this is what's going to happen for the rest of the season, but it does indicate to the team what they do need to improve on. We all know this was Dak Prescott's debut, it was Ezekiel Elliott's debut, and for the most part, Prescott did what he was supposed to do. He put the Cowboys in position to score on multiple drives. In fact, they scored on, I believe, their first 5 drives, 4 field goals and a touchdown. But the field goals, 2 of them at least, could have been much more if the team had executed a little bit better. We saw Ezekiel Elliott. He scored his first touchdown on a beautiful inside zone where he cut outside of the blocking and found a seam behind the right guard. That was a beautiful play. But all in all, Ezekiel Elliott looked very skittish and indecisive when it came to choosing his holes, something that he's going to have to improve on. A lot of people I see talking about, you should have started Alfred Morris. You can miss me with that. Zeke is a better talent, although his inexperience did show. I would much rather see him work it out on the field in large doses and in small doses and try to wean him in. Now, Des Bryant had a horrible game. He only caught 1 pass, 8 yards. He dropped a potential touchdown, not even a potential touchdown. He dropped a touchdown pass, dropped another one. The sun was in his eyes. Jason Witten dropped one with the sun within his eyes, and you have to ask, who designed AT&T Stadium that the Cowboys can't play afternoon games without half the field being in the sun and the other half being shaded? It's ridiculous that it looks like that. Now, Cole Beasley also dropped one, but that was in part due to Dak Prescott throwing high, which he did on multiple occasions. Cole Beasley was a very prime target for him, which I predicted in this game. It just seems like that's what's going to be Cole Beasley's role this year, the Julian Edelman type, the 8 to 12 target per game type. But he did drop a potential touchdown pass and ended up being a field goal. And if the Cowboys make those plays, then they probably end up winning this game. Now, again, we referenced the Terrence Williams decision not to get out of bounds when the time was running out. It would have been a very long field goal, but Dan Bailey seemed to be keyed in and on his game. He hit 2 50-yard field goals already, 1 from 52, 1 from 56. I would not have been surprised if he could have booted a 60 or 62-yarder and approached the NFL record. That's how good he is, and that's how locked in he was. Now, on the flip side, the defense, again, they only gave up 20 points, but that wasn't really the point here because the Cowboys played such ball control offense that it limited the Giants' opportunities. Now, what we did see was when it mattered, the Giants were able to run all over the Cowboys' defense. They had 3 toxic events in the form of explosive plays in the fourth quarter against the Cowboys, none. They were just able to bludgeon the Cowboys in the second half when it came to the run, and there was really no pressure on Eli Manning. The Cowboys only got 1 sack since to Benson Mayowa. His first game as a Cowboy, he got his first sack. They also forced an interception when Brandon Carr was there and Sterling Shepard refused to come back and fight for the ball. So they got a little bit of a gift there, but all kudos go to Brandon Carr for getting his first interception since 2013. Now, again, the warning is not to overreact about what you see. The Cowboys will take this, and again, this is their first time seeing Dak Prescott with under live ammunition, under live bullets being fired past him. For all intents and purposes, he played very well. The offensive line had a horrible game. La'el Collins had a horrible game. There were penalties on multiple players up and down the line. Doug Free got his, Zach Martin got his, and all in all, it just wasn't a great effort as we expect to see, but we can always expect to see that improve as the season goes on and they shake some rust off. Now, I made an argument on Twitter early in the year about the NFL needing to expand to letting all 53 players play if they're on the roster, and this makes my case again because if the Cowboys had Ron Leary active, he would have definitely have come in and replaced La'el Collins because that's how bad of a game the second-year pro was having. That has to be improved upon. Injury-wise, Orlando Scandrick went out with a hamstring, but he came back. Tyron Smith went out with his neck that bothered him throughout the preseason, but he came back. So overall, the Cowboys did escape the game without major injuries, and that's always a plus. So this is where we are. The Cowboys are now 0-1, 0-1 in the division, but there is a lot to like about what we saw, and there's a lot to improve on, which is basically all the coach can ask for when they're going into the planning session for the next week. That's it. We'll see how things improve. I'm KD Drummond for Cowboys Wire. Salute.